All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below. As usual, go get it. This video is entitled Money Can't Fix Dysfunction. There's that old quote, kind of biblical that, money can fix all problems. And sometimes people use that quote as a way to say, if you got money, it'll fix problems. And that's external problems. But that's not internal problems. That's the thing about it, why I say, money can't fix dysfunction. Because usually dysfunction is something that's going on within. And people seem to forget that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we had these conversations about, our community getting economically viable. And I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But I would say that, if some of us going with the ideology that if we just get money, just worldwide, there are always going to be rich people and poor people. But some of these rich people are very highly functional people. And some of these poor people are highly dysfunctional. And vice versa. You see, there are people who are poor who are functional, and there are people who are rich that are dysfunctional. And what happens is we let it slide if you got money. Because if you're rich and dysfunctional, money can solve your problem. You'll pay. You can make a dysfunctional rich person can make a functional poor or middle class person rich because of their dysfunction. Because they're going to always have to pay for something. They can't really build, produce, or maintain anything because, their dysfunction controls them. And with some people, they'll say, I'm not necessarily talking about drug addicts, but I'm going to use different references. Like, if you are a liar and you got money lying, you're going to be a bigger liar. You're going to say, well, if I made money being a liar, I made this much being a liar, let me up my lying game. And then you're going to get in a high-class lies. That's how Ponzi schemes happen, right? We've seen that. If you're a drug addict, you're going to up your intake of drugs because you can afford the quote-unquote good stuff. Money didn't stop you from being an addict. Money made you a bigger addict. Because now you have the time, you have the money bought you the time to have the free time to indulge. If, how can I put this? If you're one of those person who is promiscuous, money's going to make you more promiscuous. Because now you can afford all of your hedonistic fantasies, so it's gonna make it worse. Like, you're not gonna, some people think, oh, I'm gonna take the time to be a better businessman, a better person, create a company. No, that's not necessarily true. You know, because your dysfunction may outweigh your function. And that's something that people don't want to talk about. The hell? But, you know, I went running. I'm tired. Excuse me. Getting back to the subject. It can outweigh your dysfunction. Now, the problem with that is when people don't think about that, you've seen how have many people lost their fortunes because they overly indulged in their dysfunctions. You know, if you have any type of insecurity, you think, you know, money is going to be able to buy you security. Money can buy you a comfortable lifestyle, but money can't buy you self-esteem. So this is why you see people constantly overspending, buying this, buying that, doing this, doing that, to in some ways catch up. You know, catch up to a lot of different things. Like, you know, well, I couldn't get this when I was a kid, so now I'm gonna ball out and floss on everybody, right? So that becomes a problem. Is what it is. The other thing that goes along with that is this. There's a point where most people aren't thinking about that, because if it's going to drag you down, and that's part of the you know, you think these people are going to decompress and become better individuals, you know, and that is not the case, because some people gonna believe, well, it's different now that I'm here, but they're gonna look you know, or it looks more expensive in certain atmospheres. You know, if you're drunk, if you're a wino at a corner store, it's no different than being a wino at a vineyard. You know, people, you know, one looks better than the other, but it's the same problem. You know, that's what we forget. Also, it seems to me that we don't think, you know, long term, because if you don't fix what's wrong with you internally, it's gonna spread. So if you got money and you brought your dysfunction with you, and you're paying to cover up your dysfunction, all you're gonna do is, with the people around you and the people that are under you, you're going to make your behavior acceptable. So now you get people who inherit money and inherit dysfunction, and they think they're one and the same. It doesn't bother them. And this is part of people being out of touch with reality, because, you know, money doesn't fix integrity. Money doesn't just money can solve problems, but money cannot um, circumvent principles. And that's the one thing that sometimes people forget. Like, just because you think if we get money it's gonna fix everything is not true, because people have um, bad ideologies that money can't fix. Money could buy you out of a situation, but it can't fix your ideology, and your ideology is going to keep you doing the same things or at the same spot over and over and over again. And we're not taking stuff like that into consideration. So I just figured to make a video about money can't fix everything. So we out. Peace.